Hello my friends, today we're gonna make a huge and melodic drop similar to Lucas and Steven FL Studio. They usually mix future house and progressive house into one genre, so let's try to create something like that. Alright guys, let's start by creating some happy and emotional chords. Now let's chop them up and create the rhythm we want in the drop. When we're done with the chords, let's try to compose a catchy melody. The melody is probably the most important element in a drop like this. Nice. Guys, now that we've written down the chords and melody, we can use them to build the drop. The first thing we're gonna make is a really big and plucky lead. Alright boys, let's begin with this serum layer. Now we're gonna add some more layers to fill out the lead. Now that we have a decent sounding lead, we can begin with the mixing. What we want here is to make it sound as huge as possible with a lot of reverb and compression. Let's start off by adding a very short reverb, then compression with OTT, some distortion and compression with Camel Crusher, EQ, a soundizer, distortion with fruity fast dist, a second EQ, a fruity stereo shaper for some wideness, and lastly a really big reverb. This, my friends, is what the lead sounds like without the mixing. And this is with. I'm also gonna connect all the main drop elements to this sidechain bus, which has a kickstart for sidechain. Now my good men, we will create a fat bass line, but first, I would truly appreciate it if you subscribed and turned on post notifications. Alright guys, we'll start with this serum layer playing the bass line. Then we'll add some more bass layers. Now, when we're gonna mix the bass line, we have to make it really punchy and hard, but not too crisp. The lead and chords will take care of the crispness. We'll start off with an EQ, then some Camel Crusher which adds distortion and a little bit of compression, a second EQ, compression with OTT, distortion with fruity fast dist, EQ, soundizer, and a final EQ. This is the bass without the mixing. And this is with. It sounds a bit more in your face. Now we'll create some crisp and fat chords guys. Let's start with a piano layer. Then we'll add some different layers to achieve a nice and clean sound. For the mixing, we're gonna push the chords as hard as we can while still keeping them clean. It's very important that they sound clean. We'll start off with some EQ, then compression with OTT, a second EQ, some compression and distortion with Camel Crusher, some fruity blood overdrive which makes the chords brighter, a soundizer, EQ, and lastly a fruity stereo enhancer which makes them wider. This is what the chords sound like without the mixing. And this is with. Nice. This is what we've made so far guys. It sounds nice in my opinion, but in order to make it a bit more energetic, we're gonna add some white noise that plays through the entire drop. I made the white noise with a stock plugin using these settings, and I placed this long note in the piano roll. This is what it sounds like with the white noise. And this is without. It adds some energy to the drop. Guys, we're also gonna add some harmony chords on top. It's just this simple saw layer playing these harmony notes while being controlled by this cutoff automation. Now lastly, we're gonna add some nice drums and effects. Alright guys, that was all of the elements of the drop, but before I show you the result, I would sincerely appreciate it if you went and checked out my sample pack. The link is in the description. Alright boys, here we go. If you liked the video, please be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys.